from there on, what I'm trying to find out is, did you approach him? Did you talk to him? How sudden was the fall of communication with him? The late night, the early calls, or was it still going on? That's still taking place?
No, that stopped.
So when is the last time you spoke to him?
The day after the raid.
The last time you spoke to him is the day after the raid?
The day after the raid.
You've never spoken to him since?
The day after the raid.
Got it. Okay. So you called him or he called you?
I called him to let him know I was raided by the FBI, which I found to be unusual. Even back then, Trump didn't fully appreciate the power of the presidency, but people still feared him because he was getting rid of people left and right. Remember how many people got shit canned from the beginning?
Yeah.
You're going to really tell me that the FBI was raiding the home, hotel, and law office of the personal attorney to the president of the United States, and nobody had the decency to tell the president that this was going to happen? Why did he allow that to happen?
Can I speculate?
You can.
Okay, so if you're in a position like that, and he has a lot of people that are in his ear, right? If you're in a position like that and there's a lot of people in his ear, and I've gone through this before, I've gone through it closely, of course, on a much smaller scale, in a business where you're like, wait a minute, who is on my side right now? That guy used to be on my side. But why are you protecting that guy now? You used to say this, now you're getting a little too cocky because we're getting so much attention. You're walking around like you run this place, and you look at me in a certain way. Don't look at me like that. You never looked at me like that before. Don't get too comfortable. And there's a certain level of expectation to maintain that energy of respect to know he's it, right? The power struggle. He's trying to learn everybody. He's trying to study everybody. As that is happening, don't you think there's a part of it where to say, okay, he's going through a season that he went into a world that he doesn't know this world yet. It's his first term. He's much better now. I mean, he knows what he's doing now with his third term, whatever you want to call it. Of course, those 4 years he was off, he learned a lot. He has an advantage because at that fourth year of being off, everybody came and gave him so much information.
But let's at least acknowledge it's his second term, not his third.
For sure it is. It's a second term.
Because otherwise that would make this term unconstitutional.
No. This is a second term. What I'm saying is that 4 year was a very good break of getting smarter. I think he has that competitive advantage over his peers. But don't you think while you're in that moment, like there's a little bit of saying, man, maybe he's going through a season. Let me see what he's going through. Instead of, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, that's not how it happened. You see, what you're doing is you're creating a break in a timeline. I didn't break the timeline. The people, the enablers, the sycophants that were around him are the ones who did it.
Who are some of the names? Who are some of the names?
Jay Sekulow.
Okay, who else?
In my book, Revenge, Jared Kushner, Reince Priebus, Steve Bannon. There was a whole group of them. Now, you got to cut him off. Now, Jared, that saddens me too because we had a friendship. Ivanka, from what I understand from investigations that I used to write my book, Revenge, Ivanka was like, you can't do that to MC, her nickname for me, right? You can't do that to MC. Stop. Well, he took the advice of people who were never in his orbit before over the protection of me. And I don't think that you or even any of your listeners would turn around and say, yeah, I would have done that. I think everybody would have done it differently. In fact, I am 100% certain, not 99.5 like Ivory Soap, 100% certain today, if this happened, he would never have done what he did. Certainly not over $1 million in legal fees. Certainly not listening to the enablers that were around him over somebody who he spoke to and who he trusted every single day for more than a decade. I'm interesting in a way, like insanely loyal. And I don't ask for the same, for reciprocal loyalty. I do ask for some. And when I said, and I'm going to repeat it, I said it before, and I think it's important, I would have taken a bullet for him. Someone pulled out a gun, I would have jumped in front of it. The only time I would not, if he's the one that was pulling the trigger. And what I realized is that in this case, when it related to me, he was the one pulling the trigger. He may not have went out and purchased the gun and the ammunition. That was given to him by his enablers. But he was the one pulling the trigger because as president of the United States, he had the power to do what I told him, what I asked him. I pleaded. I begged him. Just shut this shit down. Nothing good is going to come out of this. They're going to come after both of us, and we're both going to get hurt from it. And you know what? Sadly, I was correct.
Let me ask you, let's role play.
But let me go one step further. Can I go one step back even
Sure.
further? I wouldn't change anything.
Okay, but let's play something else out. Okay, let's play it out. You don't do what you did. Where are you at today in 26?
Broke, on the street, no wife, children hating me. That's where I was. You see, people have me all wrong. I heard all this crap, Trump made you. Shitheads, I retired at the age of 39. All right, I didn't need to work for Donald Trump. I wanted. When he offered me that job, which came out of the blue, I didn't put in an application. I was in the office. He asked me to help him with a matter that dealt with the casinos. And of course, I had done several of the legal matters for him as well prior to that. And he was like, "You happy at that sleepy old firm that you're at?" It was at one of the oldest law firms in America, Phillips and Eisner. I was a partner at the firm. It's like, "Yeah, I don't really work too hard. I'm doing just fine, having a great time, great life." He's like, "Why don't you come work for me? I'll give you Ivanka's office. They just built on the 25th floor. You'd be right next to me. You'd be my personal attorney, my special counsel." And I was like, a guy who I admired tremendously is offering me a job. I didn't expect it. Actually, I expected to get paid for the work that I did on Trump. I was waiting for a check. And when I asked him for the check, humorously, he turned around and goes, "You want to get fired on the first day?" I was like, "Okay." And I accepted the job. And I don't look back. Nor do I look back with the NDAs and so on. I don't look back at any of that.
Yeah,
and say,
there's a difference between when you're saying shitheads, you think I wasn't making money before. There's a difference between being a lawyer for an oldest law firm and you're making good money, you got a good life, to all of a sudden you're with the guy in New York City. That
no, you missed my point. I retired.
I know you did. So this is not a money thing, but there's a difference between, there's a lot of billionaires nobody knows.
Right. I wasn't a billionaire. I was more than comfortable enough. I
know
didn't
the
need
story
to
of
work
owning
anymore.
30 or 40 medallions.
No,
the taxi.
285 yellow cabs in New York City.
Cabs or medallions?
Medallions I owned, some, right? The 40.
Right.
And then I had some in Chicago as
And
well.
some of these medallions
But we ran
at the peak was $1 million.
1.4.
Right.
I had about $60 million just in medallions in New York alone.
And then you had 280 cabs?
And we had 285 yellow
And
cabs in New York City.
through the wife and the family, or this is you?
No, that was me.
That's-
I was a lawyer that was working. My father-in-law had a couple of medallions. I ended up buying them from him right after 9/11.
And then you took it to a different level.
No, I was already in the industry. I started in the taxi industry December of 1995. I bought out a client when I was practicing negligence tort and medical malpractice.
Mm-hmm.
I bought out a client that was leaving the country. I then merged his with another client, and we built it together, me and my ex-partner, to 285 yellow cabs. Bought buildings together, properties together. In fact, bought properties in Trump World Tower. We bought a whole slew of apartments. I bought one, my parents bought one, my in-laws bought a few, my partner bought, some friends bought. I put together a whole block.
With the intention of
believed-
what? With the intention of trying to
holding
get
it?
close, or
No,
just growing
that
your
was,
business?
That was the year 2000. I
Right.
wasn't about to go close. I valued the Trump brand for what it was, and I was getting a very good deal, price per square foot, and it was an investment. That's it. And I rented the apartment. I didn't live there. I rented it.
Two others.
Excuse me?
Two others. You rented to others.
Generally, I rented them to ambassadors and to consulates.
So
because
06
it's right across the street from the United Nations.
06, when you guys got close, how did it happen?
So what happened is he had a battle, a dispute with the board at that building. And Don Jr. had said, "Hey, there's a guy who I know, Michael. He has an apartment in that building, but his parents, his in-laws, his friends, there's a whole group of them. You should really speak to him. He's kind of sharp-elbowed, right? He may be the right guy for you to talk to about
Junior's
this."
telling this to Pops.
Correct.
Okay.
And I met Junior because I had just bought apartments in a different building that I had combined together for my primary residence. And that's where Don Jr., he was doing the construction.
Got it. Okay, so today, Michael, so you're saying I would have done it the same way all over again. If I would have stayed the same, I would have been broke today, not married, family, all the stuff that you're talking about, that the situation wouldn't be good for you today. You believe that?
I do.
Okay. Fair.
Hey, Michael Cohen here. Look, you all know who I am. Donald Trump's former personal attorney and fixer. A lot of things have taken place over the years. A lot of questions need to be answered. Well, you may have a lot of questions. So do me a favor. Anytime you want to ask me a question, feel free to reach out to me on Connect.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.